Welcome back. Nigeria is seeking Japan's support in the areas of power, transportation, health, agriculture, as well as information and communication technology. Businessmen and women from both countries met at a special partnership forum today to discuss the private sector's involvement in bilateral trade and investments in Nigeria. Our correspondent, Kelvin Obeting, reports.
The Nigeria-Japan Special Partnership Forum was initiated in 2011 as a platform through which diplomatic ties can be deepened. For the first time since its inception, the private sector was part of the meeting. This gathering is one of the outcomes of the 5th Tokyo International Conference on African Development held recently in Yokohama, where it was agreed that the development goals. Top among various areas of business interest being discussed are agriculture, infrastructure, power, and human capacity development.
There are, let's say, 4 or 5 new investment decisions made. Among them, projects in the entertainment sector. Japanese animation and also new animation created jointly with Nigerian artists will be diffused and distributed through the channel TV.
Like in the rails, roads, hospitality industries, they've done well for themselves, and then Nigeria can benefit in the area of energy.
There is also the aspect of networking session.
Nigeria, 167 million people, too heavy to stand on one leg. And whatever happens to the oil situation, oil is not helping, it's destroying the economy and the environment. So we have to look at other sources. And the only way we can do that is to put our house in order and add value.
Even with the constant invitation to foreign investors to seek opportunities in Nigeria, there's still some skepticism about the country's business environment.
We are asking, certainly requesting the Nigerian government to improve further the business opportunity, business environment in Nigeria.
The private sector's involvement in bilateral relations is very key to Nigeria's pursuit of a diversified economy, and fora such as this should be a welcome development. Kelvin Obeting, Channels Television News.
It's been an interesting week on Channels Television's online platform, as some stories caused a gridlock. Our YouTube channel and website, channelstv.com, also had their fair share of drama, as stories and videos posted received massive comments and reviews. Our online correspondent, Victor Matthias, gives us more on the online traffic report.
It's been an interesting week on the social cyberspace, no doubt with events rocking the world of social media enthusiasts.
Has all the trappings of an odoriferous saga. Kum gagatwan gaga.
From the multilinguist Patrick Obahiagbong's interview to the revelation of 2 police officers caught on tape insisting on being bribed.
I've spoken to you like a man to tell you what I have.
If it's possible from that side they come here, you think I will still be inside?
Online scams were part of the drama, as former President Olusegun Obasanjo had a plethora of Twitter accounts opened in his name, while the Nigerian Customs Service was said to be in a phantom auction.
Hello?
Hello. There's this Toyota Prado I saw here.
Okay, Prado is 650 and Corolla is 400.
Yeah.
Out of that is 150,000. 450,000 is for the Prado itself, while the remaining 200,000 is for the clearance, okay?
Okay.
With an ever-growing number in viewers captivated by the channel's online platform, there is certainly more where that is coming from. So stay tuned, but don't get it twisted. With the news at your fingertips, if you're not following Channels TV on these social media platforms, you are certainly missing out on your right to know. Victor Matthias, Channels Television News.
To reposition Nigeria as one of the fastest growing economies by 2020, the country's banking sector should play an active role in national economic growth. So says the Managing Director of First Bank of Nigeria, PLC, Mr. Bisi Onosoya, who was speaking at an event put together by the Chartered Institute of Bankers of Nigeria to commemorate its 50th anniversary. Also at the event, stakeholders in the banking sector exchanged ideas on how to ensure that Nigerian banks contribute more to national development. Our correspondent, Bisi Koka, reports.
I stood up and closed my eyes.
The gathering by members of the Chartered Institute of Bankers of Nigeria seems like the perfect opportunity for stakeholders to come together to review the sector.
The changes the banking industry experienced in the past 10 years have been the most profound in the annals of 5 decades of professional banking in Nigeria. This includes various new product offerings, mergers, consolidation, nationalization, outright sale, automation and adoption of new technologies, switch between universal and monoline banking, and differing regimen of regulatory oversight.
The necessary factors needed to position the Nigerian banking sector for global competitiveness were, however, highlighted.
It's important that we understand that banking has not changed. And the responsibilities for ensuring that we sterilize and move funds from sources which are rich and removing them into deficit portions of the economy are done in a way that banks do not see banking license as opportunities for them to take deposits from the public and put them in risk-free government securities, which to some extent is what some of the Nigerian banks presently do. But more importantly, it is important that in discharging our responsibilities to the Nigerian society, the imperatives of transparency, moral rectitude, and of good governance generally remain the same, irrespective of the era in which we are.
But in spite of these factors, there may be some challenges.
The ability of banks to do as much as we expect towards supporting the real sector is being hampered by many things, including the structure of the liabilities, that is structure of the deposit. Because if deposits are short-term, it becomes difficult. You can't have a 1-year deposit to finance a 10-year facility. So there's need for some form of intervention or continuous intervention from government that provide longer-term funding and at low cost.
Members of the Chartered Institute of Bankers say they are leaving no stone unturned in ensuring professional excellence in the banking industry in Nigeria. Bisi Koka, Channels Television News.
First Bank, truly the first.
Well, we've got more business news for you. Here's Joke Rogers.
Thank you, Bimbo. Diversification from oil is a prerequisite for Nigeria's economy to become one of the 20 largest in the world by the year 2020. This is according to the Minister of National Planning, Dr. Shamsuddin Usman. Dr. Usman told journalists in Lagos today that the 19th Nigerian Economic Summit, scheduled for September the 3rd through to the 5th in Abuja, will focus on agriculture. NEST 19 is being implemented in partnership with the National Planning Commission and the Ministry of Agriculture with the theme, Growing Agriculture as a Business to Diversify the Nigerian Economy. Yields on Nigeria's debt dipped further today as demand from local fund managers put pressure on the tenors. The central bank at an auction this week sold 50.64 billion naira worth of treasury bills with maturities ranging between 3 and 6 months. The Apex Bank sold 20.64 billion naira worth of the 91-day paper at 11.09% and 30 billion naira of the 182-day paper at 12.25%. Traders expect sell pressure to moderate next week. Well, let's take a look at the closing figures from the Nigerian Stock Exchange. Now, here's Bisi Koka with the details.
Hello and welcome to the Stock Market Reports. The bulls had their heads up once again as the trading at the Nigerian stock market ended the week in the green, sustaining gains recorded in the previous session. The all-share index appreciated further in positive bargain hunting by 0.03% to 36,577.28 with a market capitalization of 11.58 trillion naira. Flour Mills of Nigeria PLC led the day's best performance with 9.98% gain and is closely followed by Academy Press and NACO. Nimet Pharmaceuticals topped the laggards list, leading 27 other presented losers for this session. On the volume chart, Transnational Corporation of Nigeria led with 27.03 million units. When the stocks crossed the finish line, volume came in at 243.85 million units, valued at 3.04 billion naira, and traded in 4,879 deals. And that's a wrap on the stock market reports. I'm BC Koka.
Thank you, BC. That's it on Business News. On the news at 10. Bimbo returns shortly.